Good afternoon, this is Greg Williams. Today I'm going to be speaking about levels in Photoshop. Levels is Photoshop's primary tool for adjusting dynamic range and making color corrections. When we look at an image, it's actually made up of thousands or millions of individual squares of light referred to as pixels. Each of those pixels we can look at, and it's made up of a certain amount of red, green, and blue information. Combining that, we determine its luminosity, or how bright or dark an image is. So when I look at an image, I can look and say, that's not a bad image, but it just doesn't look quite right. So I'm going to take a look at its histogram. A histogram is nothing more than a graph of the luminosity of each of those individual pixels. What I'm looking for on a good image is a distribution of light pixels to dark pixels. When I look at this particular image, I see that I'm missing a lot of light information. And so I'm going to create an adjustment layer, levels, and the levels adjustment has 3 points that I can adjust. It has a black point, a white point, and a midtone point. I'm going to simply pull in the white point to where the information kind of drops off there, and you'll notice that it immediately brought life to that image, and if you look at the histogram, it has remapped the histogram so that I do have pixels spread across the entire dynamic range. I could also go in and adjust the midpoint at this point to brighten up the midtones or darken the midtones without affecting the white and the black points within that image. To take this a little bit further on this image, we sometimes want to look a tad bit further and try to correct for any color shifts that happen to be occurring in the image. So another way of looking at this would be to open the Levels dialog box, and instead of looking at the composite, the red, green, and blue channels together, we want to look at the red information, the green information, the blue information separately. And looking at the reds, I see there's quite a bit of missing red information in the bright area, and the greens, the same thing, and in the blues, the same thing, but it wasn't exactly the same number in each case. Now as I look, I can see that maybe I have a little bit of an reddish orange tint, and I can fine-tune that to exactly what I want by adjusting the middle range of that image. And that's how difficult it is to work with levels. 3 quick clicks and you can fix about 80% of your problems.